Is this the best Marfione custom OTF that you can buy right now? That's a subjective question, but I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, which is why I have this knife. This is a very special unboxing. Really excited about this, and I debated wearing gloves, primarily because this is going to catch a lot of fingerprints and a lot of smudging, and so I want to keep it clean for the camera, but I get a lot of crap whenever I wear gloves. So we'll raw dog it. We'll go gloveless. Obviously, this is a Marfione custom knife. I kind of vowed that I would never buy another Marfione custom knife again. I sold all the ones that I had. I enjoyed getting them, and I thought they were cool, but just for the money and for what you get, I just couldn't quite make it work for me, right? It just wasn't quite there. And I spoke to this on my other videos, how if there was just a little bit more on these knives, if they had upgraded the materials or done a few other tweaks, I think I would be more on board, but I just kind of struggle with where they're at, except for this one, because this one is the most specialist Marfione custom I've ever got. It's really, really cool, and I'm really excited about it, and it'll probably be the only Marfione custom I get in a long, long time. And here it is, and I know what you're saying. What is it? Why don't I recognize what this knife is? Carbon fiber button. What is it? That's because this is a brand new model. This is the Hera 2 Prototype Edition. This has the Diamond Wash DLC blade. I'm going to move this out of the way. Diamond Wash DLC blade. One of my favorites. Hand ground, hollow ground, double edge. This is a much larger version of the regular Hera, right? It's a Hera 2. So the reason why I'm so excited about this is I've never been able to get on board with something like this. So this has not been released. The Hera 2 has not come out with the signature line, with the production line. It is only in the custom, and this is the prototype. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can zoom in here. So yep, you can see there, Hera 2, 9/2023 prototype. Sheesh. Freaking gorgeous. Titanium milled pocket clip, which is basically very, very similar to what you see on like the Amphibian. Obviously a little bit different, a little bit bigger, but same kind of aesthetic. This is more like the Glycon. And then it has the reversible clip system. So you can run this left hand or right hand, which is awesome because it's inherently lefty friendly with the button on the side. It also features a carbon fiber button, which looks absolutely beautiful. Definitely not the most robust material for a switch, but on something like this, absolutely stunning. It has kind of all the Hera visuals you would expect, very similar design language as the original. They've just made some tweaks. But unfortunately, the downside to what a lot of people liked about the original Hera is they added a glass breaker. Marfione just cannot get away from the glass breaker. Now, it is pretty unobtrusive. It only comes to a slight point, and then it just has the ceramic ball in this titanium bottom piece right here, which is also very cool. Everything is DLC'd. It's got the big Marfione dagger milled into the handle right there. Now, one thing that I find interesting, and I want to look this up, is this is not the normal quote-unquote hefted finish, which I didn't realize. I thought it was the normal hefted where you can kind of see the grain in it. This is more of a traditional blasted finish on the handles here, and then it's DLC'd. Let's take a look at the information here and see if it says, yeah, it says hefted, which is interesting because this does not look hefted. My understanding, and please chime in below if you know more about Marfione customs than me, my understanding was the hefting was basically the hand graining, right? The hand finishing on the handle that gave it that kind of high grit kind of finish. This does not have that. This does not appear to be hefted, even though it says hefted. So maybe hefted simply means hand finished or hand ground. I don't know. And then, of course, you've got this beautiful mirror polish. Now I believe they call this one DLC Diamond Wash. Now, interesting thing, and I've had people point this out, which is why I want to talk about it, is on the DLC versions, you can see I cut myself today. On the DLC versions, you really don't get that diamond wash coming through. Like it looks like it is a DLC mirrored finish. On the non-DLC, you see that diamond wash coming through. And diamond wash, for those that don't know, is basically doing a mirror finish and then doing a light tumble on it. And so it gives it like a dirty mirror finish on the blade. And it looks pretty dang cool. I don't love it. I actually prefer this. But you can see, like, you really don't see any of the tumbling on here. I don't know if the DLC just kind of fills that in and it goes away, which is interesting because it makes me wonder why they even do that part of the process and just why not DLC it? But I don't know. You've got double fullers here. You've got some cool holes going on for the visuals. And this thing is really smooth, which I've heard people talk about, how this fires more smooth than other OTFs. And it does. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know if they've put ball bearings underneath this handle here, similar to Guardian Tactical or Heretic Knives, or if they've just modified the internals or polished them. I don't think it's any sort of new mechanism or anything. So very, very interesting. Beautiful knife. Absolutely amazing. I would say, though, I do kind of wish it had the grain on it. If I'm being honest, I am a little bit disappointed that it doesn't have that grain finish on it. I really, really like that. But the main reason I got it is I wanted a prototype, and I got me a prototype, and I wanted to try out a new model as a custom, and I was able to do that. This also features regular Torx DLC screws, similar to the Glycon and the Scarab and stuff like that. It doesn't have the proprietary screw system. Now, when I say prototype, you got to keep in mind, it's not really a prototype. Really what it is its first batch, right? So I don't know how many of these were made, but it's definitely not a couple. You know, they went out to retailers, multiple people had them. They're out there. So it's not a true prototype, which honestly, I don't know if I would want the true prototype. So clearly this is a fully functional past model. Past as in, you know, it works, it's going to move forward. And really prototype just means it's an unnumbered first run of this particular knife model. And so what you're going to see is these will come out as signature line, they'll come out as production line, and there's going to be a handful of people like me that have the prototype version of this new knife model. So, all right, guys, that's it. Quick look, reasonably quick look at the Hera 2 prototype from Marfion Custom Knives. DLC all around. Beautiful knife, so cool. Such smooth action. Oh man, this thing is dope. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Take it easy.